Hello, friends. Do you have a moment so that we may discuss our Lord and Savior Minarchy? No, seriously, I'm just kidding. Hi, my name's Rick Robinson. I am the general manager of KLRNradio.com. We are probably the largest independent podcast network that you've never heard of. We have a little bit of everything, and by that, what I mean to tell you is we have news, pop culture, special events, conspiratainment, true crime, mental health shows, drama productions, and pretty much everything in between. So if you're looking for a new podcast home to grab a little bit of everything that you love all in one place, come check us out. You can find us on X under @KLRNradio. You can find us on our Rumble and our YouTube channels under the same names. You can also find us at KLRNradio.com and pretty much every podcast catcher known to man. So again, feel free to come check us out anytime you like at KLR.
Hi everyone, this is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
And good Friday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the Weekend News Roundup, powered by KLRN Radio, as well as Digital Beacon US News. I am General Manager, KLRNradio.com, News Director, Digital Beacon US News. I am joined today by Brad Slager from Town Hall, Red State, as well as KLRN Radio. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Doing all right. Doing okay. It was actually, I don't know, maybe for the past few weeks, we've had so much mayhem going on. It's actually feels like a calmer week in some ways. Not quite calm, but calmer.
Not really calm here in Oklahoma, but we might get to that in a minute. Then, of course, has become a recurring contributor here, we have BZ from BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, who is part of SHR Media, who's with us today as well. Unfortunately, Amy Curtis has family obligations and will not be joining us today, which is all right, because I'm sure at least a couple of her stories will probably still make the cut. So how you doing, BZ? How's things?
I've been waving for the past 5 minutes and nobody sees me. I'm just another disembodied head floating around. Anyway, thanks for having me. Welcome to Rick, and hello, Brad. And sad about Amy. We always enjoy her being here.
Yes. So speaking of disembodied heads, when are you going to start bidding quadloos on the next bunch of slaves that are coming in? Just curious.
Sorry. 78,000 quatloos. That's my bid.
Had to throw a Star Trek reference in because I have a lot of Starfleet Academy kids that are really pissed at me again today.
Rick has been on a tear.
Oh, Mike, that's so sad.
I know, right?
However, being from the 1965 era, I know what a quatloo is. And David Gerald and Tribbles.
Nice.
I watched one episode of Starfleet Academy and gagged myself with a woodchuck and stopped.
With a woodchuck, you say?
Yes. It was the closest arboreal animal to me.
Yeah, I actually have watched all of New Trek, including all 10 episodes of the first season of Starfleet Academy.
I'm sorry for you.
Yeah,
I do it to myself so I can talk
I've
about
yet
it.
to hear a positive word about that program, and yet the people that seem to defend it never defend it, but just get mad at the people that are mad at the show.
Why can't you explain to me why you don't like it? And then we leave 14 paragraphs as to why we don't like it. You're racist. No, we just anyway. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take too much of the news hour up with that, but at the same time, it's like big news because, of course, they ordered 2 from the jump, and they had this thing. They ordered 2 seasons, so they had this idea of this basically being a recurring show for as long as they could keep it going, with new classes coming in, new classes going out, new characters being added in every season. And yeah, it just never caught on, and it's not like it's and for the funny thing is, for everybody who's screaming and yelling about it not being watched, I don't think they realize that half the people that watched it were people like me who have watched everything to do with Trek and really, really, really wanted it to be good, and it just wasn't. When you only have a 10-episode season and only 3 of them are passable Trek episodes, that is not good. So for anybody who wants to keep Trek going, I suggest you start a letter writing campaign to have them not spend $15 million an episode.
That's what happened in 1968. That's why Trek came back for season 3.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not like it's not possible. But the whole thing with all of this is, they don't tell stories anymore. They have big budget special effects. They make every episode look like it's some sort of a $high movie, and then there's no substance in the entire hour that you're watching, and it's just dumb. But anyway, like I said, I don't want to spend the whole hour talking about that. But
I didn't want to just kvetch because I heard early this thing sucks. I thought, okay, go see it. Don't just say it sucks without watching. So I watched, and my opinion was from having watched.
Yeah, and it was not good.
It was not good.
I mean, I was able to get past a lot of it. Like, a lot of folks were pissed off that she was like lounging in the chair, and I'm like, dude, she's like 450 years old. She just doesn't give a fuck anymore. But at the same time, I'm like, as the chancellor for the academy, that's probably not a good look. And then she spends half the damn episode walking around the academy barefoot. I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's legal reasons she shouldn't be allowed to do that, for one.
Well, all the foot fetishists in the academy, however, enjoyed it.
Apparently. But yeah,
or maybe in the production.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what you would do in this scene.
Oh, so in case anybody's missed it, apparently it is the Conservative Political Action Committee 2026 in Texas this year. And I was going to go. I really was. And then I saw their guest list, and I'm like, I don't know. Just no. I don't want to go anymore.
Who was on it?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I haven't known Red State covering it, but I've not seen, too much on social media. There's not a lot of, replay of video such taking place. It's been a very muted affair.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that I've seen reported is something that we've been talking about since 2024. And they're like, we have proof that they've been diverting USAID funds and laundering it back into Biden's campaign in 2024. I'm like, no shit. Where were you 2 years ago when we were saying this? Hello? You guys are just figuring this out, really? But yeah, I mean, it has been rather muted. I think I see, like, on Red State, I saw one article about it. And then I guess it's talking about Brandon Herrera and Mike Lindell have officially been endorsed as conservative candidates at CPAC. Yeah.
Don't know that that's the way to push the party forward in the future, but sure.
Sure. Go ahead.
I don't know that CPAC is really grounded in the party like it used to be. I'm pretty sure they've kind of drifted for various reasons, but there doesn't seem to be the same furor behind it like there used to be. I mean, when we went out a couple of years ago, it was, party was on the rise and CPAC is the place to be. And now it's like, oh yeah, CPAC's taking place as well. It's just not, it's not moving the needle like it used to.
Well, and I think part of it's because of the people that they keep inviting in to speak. I mean, I'm sorry, in my opinion, there's no reason Steve Bannon should be a keynote speaker at CPAC this year. Like,
Yeah, they got to be done with him, I think, by now, right? It should be.
well, they should be, but they're not because he's there.
I know it's what I can't grasp. I don't know that. Maybe the organizers haven't been keeping up with the news and such, but he's kind of toxic. I don't think we want to be affiliated any longer, but there's a lot of that going on in the party where you see people that are just unwilling to be critical of figures, iconic or otherwise. I mean, look at, Tucker Carlson has gone so far off the reservation. There's still people that cling to him, though. And then we got Megyn Kelly kind of doing the same thing. And, I'm willing to point out it seems like she's going into bat crap territory. Yeah, but there's, this need to cling to them. They're a name. They're an icon. We got to stay on their side. And it's like, just listen to what they're saying. That's what you got to do. Not who they are, but what's coming out of their soup cooler. Be critical. You're allowed to.
Soup
But
cooler. Like that.
I think you just gave BZ a new slang term.
I was trying to be more polite. She's not Canadian, so I couldn't say her poutine hole.
Stolen.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's just kind of weird that we've got this this growing list of people on the right that are just, I don't know, they're going like wingnut on us. Somebody put it up the other day. It was like, I don't know, a dozen or so prominent conservative, quote unquote, names that are on this list. And it was Tucker, it was Megyn, and a number of others. And it's just like, what the hell is going on? Where these people are just swinging wide from the party line any longer. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I think part of it is I think a lot of folks are trying to glom onto that whole, that shock factor that Trump had in the beginning. And they don't realize that they've gone so far that they don't really have any. They've jumped the shark so badly that they're completely old. They're just not anywhere in the territory that they thought they were. And BZ, I think it was BZ it was either BZ or Earl this week, made an excellent point that it appears that Tucker Carlson may in fact be a closet Muslim, especially now that he owns property in Qatar and keeps talking up how Islam builds everything and Western civilization is decaying. That sounds like something that an Islamist would say.
Yeah, there's got to be a money flow going on there that is amazing, because when he left Fox, we all thought he was going to take over alternative media. It was just prime for it. He was going to be broadcasting on Twitter. He's going to move the complete paradigm over to that from conventional media. He's going to take it over. And then he just squandered all that. And then this new phase where he's not just anti-Trump, but anti-US and pro-Iran and pro-Muslim now. And I mean, Qatar must be just either dumping him
in his pockets.
Yeah, he's got to be getting just a fire hose of cash and or property and whatnot over in that country now, because there's no other explanation for him to just, in a matter of years, go 180 degrees out of phase of where he'd been for how long on Fox News. It's just something's behind it. It's just a matter of proving what it is.
So did you hear about this one? Apparently one of Joe Biden's Secret Service agents accidentally shot himself. And I say accidentally in air quotes because they're not actually sure if it was an accident or not, or if he was just trying to get out of doing his job.
Yeah, it was on like Jill's Detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound suspicious at all.
Yeah, not at all.
I mean, can you imagine having to follow Dr. First Lady Mrs. Biden around for 18 hours a day? That's got to be taxing on the character.
Shit, it can't be any worse than listening to Michelle Obama bitch about how much it sucked being First Lady. Jesus Christ. Every time I see her on anything, she's like, I'm an attorney and I've done this and I've done that, and the only thing anybody knows me for is being the first lady. I'm like, that should tell you something. Besides, I'm not sure you count as the first lady, Mike.
Isn't that like driving Miss Daisy, something like that?
Pretty much.
Guarding Tess.
Guarding Tess. Yes, that
Ooh,
was
that's
it.
even better.
Thank you.
That's even better. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Everything seems so crazy. Like now, apparently, the Senate Republicans and the House Republicans are fighting with one another because Johnson's pissed that Thune did a backroom deal in the middle of the night, and he's like, "We didn't agree to this. We're not voting for it, so everything's gonna stay shut down." Then, of course, Trump comes in last minute and signs an executive order granting current pay and back pay to TSA, and I'm thinking, if you could have done this, why didn't you do that 40 days ago? I'm confused.
Well, that I think is more of a, I don't know if audacious is the word to use, but it's stretching the boundaries of, presidential decorum and such. I mean, he could have done it, but I think he wanted Congress to get their act together and straighten it out. But and it's clearly Democrat created. I mean, the fact that they try to sell this, that the Republicans are trying to defund TSA, is just absolutely asinine. Because, I mean, you just have to look at the fact it's just like in the fall with the massive shutdown. The House passed this bill. It's clean. It came in, and the GOP was voting to fund DHS, of which TSA is involved. And the Democrats wanted to piecemeal it, cut it up, itemize the agencies that'll get funded. They even wanted, Schumer was trying special rules in the Senate to get it passed through committee. They're clearly the ones manipulating us, and trying to blame Republicans is just factually asinine. But I think the main problem has been what's going on in the airports, where you don't even have TSA agents calling out. They're just outright quitting. And putting ICE in the airports was brilliant, I thought. That was,
well, you could make an argument.
A stroke of genius.
You could make an argument for them having been there from the very get-go, but of course that would increase the numbers required for ICE. As an adjunct, did you guys happen to see Data Republicans' take on John Thune?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, she absolutely
completely pantsed him.
Like, holy crap. It was gorgeous. And I thought that Harry Reid nuked the filibuster in 2013 when he wanted results. Mitch McConnell changed Senate rules 3 times and canceled the August recess. Chuck Schumer used reconciliation within months on a 50-50 Senate. Thune, you have 53 seats. You've changed nothing, canceled nothing, and waited 11 months. And now she says, okay, let's talk donors. Goldman Sachs, $150K to you. Google, $75K to you. Meta, $72.5 million. K to you. Wells Fargo, $90K to you. Like you guys said earlier, and especially about Tucker Carlson, cui bono, who benefits, who's benefiting because of all of this. And now, Data Republican uses data.
No, it's it's the kind of thing that needs to be done, though. It's like Thune, I wanted to say he's doing a good job, but he's just proven himself to be the rhino in the Senate. And the fact that they've capitulated now on this whole TSA funding aspect of it is just stupid. But it's what happens when you get neutered leadership.
Well, the sad thing is what is happening before has happened again. The best indicator of future performance is past performance or the lack thereof. At this point, not to be a Debbie Downer, but I'm thinking you can probably say bye-bye to the Senate and to Congress in November at this rate. What was it? Trump got onto the 5 last night and just opined like crazy and went all sorts of crazy tangent places, as is his wont. But the thing that he said that was truthful is Democrats can circle the wagons like nobody else, and the GOP consistently fails.
Well, the difference is when the Democrats circle the wagons, it's to protect each other. When we start circling, we start shooting each other.
Yes. Yes. The circular fire.
Well, I think what we're seeing, we just got a group of Republicans that are once again falling prey to the media because they hate being called MAGA. They hate being called out. Oh, they're ridiculing us and mocking us for this, and so they just turn squish about it. And they have yet to learn that even if you capitulate to the media, they're just going to hate you. It just doesn't make any sense to grovel and bend the knee, and yet they still do it. Oh, they called us names.
Well,
it's like, grow up there. How many times have I been called a pedo Nazi this week? It just doesn't.
I've been called it at least 5 times today already.
They have a foundational level from which they then move from, and their foundational, they want to be loved, and their foundational level is you're never going to be loved. Just get used to it and do the shit that you need to do. You are never going to be loved. That's your foundation right there. Start from there and then go, oh, but we can't, just words, bad words.
No, it shows you everything that's wrong within the party that they still play that game. I mean, look at the Democrats when they came out last week or this week. We put ICE in the airports and they come out, and how many of them said that ICE is going to shoot and kill people in the airports? Nobody in the media held them accountable for that idiocy. So that tells you everything right there. They can say that kind of stupid crap and not be held accountable. You can do everything the media wants you to do, and they're going to light you on fire the next day. So what's the purpose?
Or this stupid crap where you had Abigail Spanberger and J.B. Pritzker both say the exact same false thing with regard to 2 women being killed by illegal invaders. And the line was, oh, Trump didn't do his ICE job. I know it's a daytime show, but are you fucking kidding me? And the American media maggots carry that. And apparently very few are smart enough to realize that's just not a lie, a damned lie. That's an obscene lie. It's so over the top and aided and abetted by our loving American media maggots. It's just ridiculous. Uncovered.
Well, it's because these are the same people that said ICE isn't necessary, keep them out of our city. I mean, you got that demarcation right there in front of you. If you're a journalist of any repute, you can hold them accountable right there. It's like, you told them not to come in, and now you're blaming them for not doing their job. That's all you need to do. And the press will, of course, refuse to do it because of the letter that's in front of their first name. So this kind of crap will stand. I don't know how you can be a Republican in Congress and not grasp that.
Apparently that guy is a Biden tard and a Cami Cackler tard.
Yeah, I just wanted to leave it up there for a minute to give you guys a chance to see it and say hi.
Hi, moron.
Yeah. Gotta love YouTube trolls. I swear to God. I don't know. The same thing with X though. Like I always have this conundrum, right? Because I want to grow my X account enough to where it starts paying me a little bit, but then I spend a few days above the thermal layer, as I call it, and then I see all the crazy, and I'm like, I kind of like being below the thermal layer more than I like getting paid. I don't really know.
Red October, disappearing into the thermoclines.
Yep. That's actually where I got that from. Was
okay.
October. So
1 ping, Vasily.
Just one.
Just one.
Oh, so anybody else seen any other big news today? Because I mean,
you want to see a carbonated beverage go out my nose, don't you?
well, I mean, hear it. We won't.
I was drinking a Monster when you said that. Oh my God.
Did you guys hear about the? Did you guys hear about the transgender attorney that got charged with contempt of court here in Oklahoma? That was fun.
And
Oh, that video was
watched it.
hilarious.
a 6-minute glorious video.
The whole thing was just insane. And then my favorite.
You can't arrest me. I'm trans.
Well, my favorite part of that whole thing was though, dudette is in a suit, full beard, presenting themselves as a man until she starts being manhandled by male police officers, and then she's like, "I demand a female officer immediately." Dude, you're dressed as a dude. You're being treated like a dude. Get over it.
I mean, that whole. I've never seen virtue signaling during an arrest, but holy cow, that was like on another level.
And then it makes a video afterwards talking about how it's about to sue that entire county because it was discriminated against, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, whatever, dude.
Well, isn't it leftists that were telling us you must obey the judge? Well, the judge said, no, I'm not going with you, and then let the umbrage in virtue signaling commence.
I mean, it was all of it was just dumb. From what I could gather, it seemed like the attorney didn't have their paperwork in order. So the judge was like, look, come back with the proper paperwork.
Yes.
And we'll see what we can do. And then just went nuts. And eventually the judge was like, okay, look, I'm done with you. You know, at one point, the one attorney shouting at the other attorney's getting mad and starting to shout back. And that's when the judge was like, okay, we're done. We're not doing this anymore. And then, like I said, the whole time, dude is on the ground screaming, "I can't breathe! I can't breathe! I can't breathe!" I'm like, dude, if you can talk, you can breathe.
That's right. No kidding. Be gone, wench.
Somehow you got enough air to scream, but you can't breathe. I got it. I just love the other attorney, though, when he came up, and I mean, you could just see he was in no crap mode. And the victim attorney can get out of my face. And he was a good 3 feet away. And all he did is just like lean on the banister and smile at him. If he's in your face, you could take a step back. You know, you've got freedom to move here, but
nothing.
Yeah, that whole thing was a pure.
Nothing works with efficacy like making fun of leftists because they're so serious. We must be serious. There must be lamentations of the women.
Well, they can't say that anymore because it's lamentations of the
lamentations of the day.
The lamentations of the birthing person.
Did you guys to go back to the airport briefly? Did you see the video? Oh man, Cory Booker in an airport complaining. He's got a podium in the airport. First off, I didn't understand that exactly. I was like, do you just carry that with you? You have a van? What the hell? And then he's talking about, the mayhem that's here, the chaos in this airport because of ICE. And you can see behind him, there's like 3 people walking through the
terminal. It's like the crickets in the field going, free deed, free deed, free deed.
I mean, he thought he was giving one of those speeches in the House, where they're pounding on the podium and pointing and yelling, and it's to a completely empty chamber because they're just doing their speeches, for the record. But he was doing it in an airport. This place is a madhouse, and they've turned it upside down, and the camera's just like cutting every angle, and you can maybe find 8 people in the entire building.
It was glorious, I have to say.
Loved that.
And still everybody's talking about, DHS, Trump signs the executive order, making sure that TSA workers get paid during day, I don't know, what day is this, 41, 47, something like that, of
right.
the shutdown. And 500 TSA workers have left, et cetera, probably more than that. And all I can think of is, because this is the way my actual neural brain works. What about the SAVE Act? Hello. Again,
this is amazing because the Democrats are fighting that tooth and nail, and yet their own party is in favor of it. I mean, if
Oh,
you
what
look at
is-
any of the polls, it's, the GOP is like 90% in favor. That's a given. But Democrats are trending like 65 to 70 in favor of
Yeah,
it.
there were up. The last I saw was about 70% of Democrats. It's like, what the hell?
So
Good
what
Lord.
representing your constituents and, doing the work of the American people and all these claims. But now the entire party is working against their entire party. And
I'm look-
in the media wants to call this out because this is a hateful, racist. I can never get these documents. I'm watching Morning Joe and they're bragging to the camera how they're incapable of getting a passport or something. It's like, you're supposed to be the smart ones, according to you.
Did you see what Politibunny did?
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Basically, she did an experiment to see how difficult it would be to replace all her documents, and I think she spent maybe 3-4 days total dealing with it and spent like $35. And then some women's group on Facebook started blasting her.
Well, they're trying to say is that you can't use any of those to vote. No, but you use them to get your voter ID, you dumbasses. That
Right.
was the entire point of this. And I'd love too where they just keep talking about women that have married and changed their name can't get these documents. I'm pretty damn sure if I said women were too stupid to do this, I'd get lit up.
Well, the
Probably.
Democrats are racist, clearly, and they're misogynist. Funny thing is, I was going to talk about this, so it's right in front of me. She said, for shits and giggles, I decided to do this. Birth certificate. They overnighted a copy to me, $14. Social security card, 5 business days to arrive, $0. Marriage license, went to the vital docs section of the county, filled everything, arrived in 3 days, $5. $20 to obtain all 3 certified legal documents in less than 5 business days. So, it's like, as far as Democrats are concerned, blacks are stupid. And as far as Democrats are concerned, chicks are stupid. The women's can't figure it out, and the blacks can't figure it out. Who's the racist? Who's the sexist?
Well, here's the question that I've yet to have answered because they keep talking about how this is affecting women and these Republicans are completely violating the rights of women to vote. How does that help the Republican Party? Like if you're supposedly restricting women from voting, how are the Republicans benefiting from that? I don't get any response to that ever.
No, because 50% of the population, ...
But it's just, that's their fallback is Republicans are sexist. It's like, okay, but there are Republican women, quite a bunch of them. So if they're restricting their own people, what's going on here? That they can't process this in a proper fashion. However, doesn't fit in with their hysterical narrative. So moving on, conversation changes.
Well, the other thing I have to say I enjoyed is that, number one, Mueller cacked. I'm not supposed to say that, but I did. And then number two, Flynn came in yesterday or day before, I don't remember which, winning whatever the hell it was, $7 million in his lawsuit against Mueller, who was going after a certain number of people. So with such ferocity that there was a guy named Steve Smith, something like that, who committed suicide. Yeah, that's who I'd want to. Yeah, I'm sure Mueller's up in heaven right now, just laughing about that. Oh, wait, maybe down below.
I'm gonna say Mueller's probably somewhere a little bit warmer. Just
Yeah. Like I said, and pissed a lot of people off by saying it, may Mueller burn and twist in flaming hell. Other than that, I'm sure he's a great person. He didn't paint tadpoles blue and set them on fire. I hear. Now, I'm not sure about that.
Well, I had to laugh at, when Trump and others were daring to be critical of Mueller after he died. Like only the media is allowed to do that.
Right.
They were trashing Chuck Norris last Friday. and yet if you badmouth Mueller, you've somehow crossed the line. But my favorite is they kept saying that he was a Marine Bronze Star recipient. How dare you? It's like, okay. Pete Hegseth has him beat by 2. and you have about since the time he was nominated.
Like Stephen L. Hall, Lamentations of the Vaguely Identifiable.
I mean, I didn't understand how, you're not allowed to talk badly about a Bronze Star recipient. You asshole's been doing it for more than a year.
Well, and they were also saying bad things about McCain. Oh, you can't say bad things about McCain. Or the other traitor who was the astronaut and the Navy aviator. I can't think of his name. He's in Arizona.
Talking about
For some
Mark
reason, I
Kelly?
can't think of his name either.
Yeah, Kelly, that's it.
Oh, there we go.
That's the boob's name.
You said the boob.
Yeah, they're very selective in who's allowed to be slandered and misspoken about. Only they can do that. How dare you follow our policy?
Okay, so I finally got it to work. I want to show this. This is so. First of all, I just want you guys to look at what's on the screen because these are ICE agents, and these are African American ICE agents, and there are tons of people of color that are really pissed off that apparently there are African American ICE agents. But this also happened. So here we go.
No thoughts. You guys are the foot soldiers of a fascist regime, right? Is that not what it is? Is that funny? Is that funny?
Yeah, it is.
No thoughts.
I think they're just tired of everybody's crap at this point. But yeah, I thought that was hilarious when dude is just in the back just rolling. Like, okay, yeah, we're the top.
Been like this for quite a while. I mean, in Minnesota too, I think part of their training has been is like, look, the people on the left are wingnuts and they're going to scream at you, laugh in their face. You have our full permission to mock them. And, we've been seeing that since January when they were on the streets of Minneapolis. And I mean, you see these wine moms screaming at black ICE agents for being racist. It was amazing. And they would just look them in the eye and it's like, so you're against us arresting the sexual predator that's been raping young girls. Is that what you're saying? And throw it right back in their face and you can see the heads explode. It's great to see that though. And then, oh, you're laughing at me? How dare you? It's like, who are you? You're a complete nobody with an iPhone demanding answers.
You are a singular target-rich environment. Thank you.
But it's like they're allowed to be crude to members of the official state, and yet if the official state members dare mock them in return, you crossed the line, sir. How dare you? Shut the hell up.
Yeah. All right. So, the VP kind of said the quiet part out loud when it comes to a certain Congress critter. Here we go.
Talk about Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz.
Exactly.
And obviously, Ilhan Omar, the president and the White House have been out saying that she married her brother, that there is immigration fraud going on here. These are deportable denaturalization offenses. Can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, so we actually think that Ilhan Omar definitely committed immigration fraud against the United States of America. And I talked to Stephen Miller about this actually recently. We're trying to look at what the remedies are. That's the thing that we're trying to figure out is what are the legal remedies now that we know that she's committed immigration fraud? How do you go after her? How do you investigate her? How do you actually do the thing? How do you build the case necessary to get some justice for the American people? There's a related issue, Benny, which is she has been at the center of a lot of the worst fraudsters in the Somalian community. So do I know that Ilhan Omar was aware that the Quality Leering Center was defrauding the American people? I'm not certain of it, but we at least need to investigate it because if people can commit wrongdoing without even the fear that they're going to be found out, that's a fundamental problem. So I'm worried about the immigration fraud. I'm also worried about what did Ilhan Omar know about what was happening in the Somali community and why was nobody looking into it until, frankly, Donald Trump came along?
Pretty valid questions, I would think.
She knew. Obama knew. If you think Obama was stupid, Obama was never stupid. And what what do brilliant people do? They have their finger on the pulse of everything around them. So I don't believe that Ilhan Omar was stupid, just like I don't believe Obama was stupid. He wasn't my kind of syrup, but that's okay. They knew exactly what was going on around them. Ilhan Omar does. She needs to get out. And dare I say this? Oh, stand by. I hope you're sitting down. All Muslims out of the United States of America. Don't know how you do it, but it needs to be done. You know, there's some kind of a British leftist dude. Uh-oh, somebody calling in?
No, I actually got to give you a bell for once.
Oh, damn it. I thought someone was calling. There was some kind of a British leftist dude. And I'm referring to an article by Amy Curtis, trying to fill in for Amy Curtis. British leftist denies demographic change, gets immediately proven wrong because as he's saying this, the camera pans around and it's nothing but muzzies around him. So it's like, Jesus, you morons, but it's a civilizational change, folks. Demography is prophecy. Islam doesn't come to meld. Islam comes to terrorize and dominate, period. End of statement. Read literature. Use your eyes and your ears. I have spoken.
I thought I had a bookmark for that because there's actually a cleric saying that, you know, we have come, and I think it's actually in Britain, we've come to take everything over, and I don't care how upset they get about it because that's just the truth. And eventually,
And that was Dearborn too. I'm in the process of assembling an Islam show where I'm going to do nothing for 2 hours but excoriate Islam. I'm sure that'll be loved, but that's part of it. There was a cleric in Dearborn saying the exact same thing, as well as the one that was in London.
Well, just look at what was going on in Minneapolis too, where they found all the fraud, and you know, Omar and others came out to, well, they're just being racist. It's like, okay, if you look at all of the cases they found, 85% of them were committed by Somali people. Don't think that's racism when you've got that kind of data on the shit.
Well, it's like I've said for years, the absence of something is frequently equally, if not more important than the presence of something, as in, well, it's all white supremacists. Show me the corruption and the fraud perpetrated by white supremacists. Then go ahead and show me all the terror angles and the things committed by white supremacists all around the fruited plain and around the world. Because if it existed in any significant form whatsoever, other than three idiots getting together to try to fill a Molotov cocktail and set it on fire using beer, those things are not around. They don't exist. So who are the perpetrators? Who are the real perpetrators? Nobody wants to
All
tell.
right, so I'm going to put this on the screen, let it play before I even say anything about it, and then we will discuss, because if this is accurate, this is actually kind of huge. So hang on. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet or not.
I have not.
So what you just watched was Iranian freedom fighters opening fire on IRGC troops.
Oh,
now.
Well, this goes against what we were told.
Well, yeah.
Well, this whole
boy. YouTube is absolutely exploding tonight, huh? Today, I guess. Because they're out in force over there. I'm not even paying attention to the chat anymore, to be honest.
I never do. It's like talking to Jello.
But yeah, I just thought that was
YouTube comments. I never read
that came out like an hour ago. So yeah, I just have the X chat open on another screen so I can talk to the people that I actually like.
But I'm just amazed at what's going on with our press regarding Iran, because they refuse to not even report on what we're doing, but they won't listen to a single thing coming out of the administration. We don't trust Donald Trump. And then they take anything coming out of Iran as gospel. And so if Iran says we bombed 20 of their military sites, it's like, well, do you have proof of it? Well, the Iranian media said so.
Well, that's like the bald black chick whose name escapes me talking to John Brennan at a table. And both of them, the first the bald black chick decides that she's going to nudge Brennan and said, well, isn't that true? The U.S. is lying. And Brennan says, well, I would always trust Iran over the United States. Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, that's, when Trump came out and said that I've been negotiating with them this week, first off, it was amazing because the press was first mad that we're bombing them. And then when Trump said, we're going to back off now and have negotiations for peace, then, Trump, this whole mission failed. He's doing what you just demanded, and now you're mad at him. And then the claim was they're not talking to anybody because some news person in Iran said they're not talking to us. And I saw the interview with their foreign minister who said, we're not speaking with them. We've been communicating through emissaries. Well, that's communicating.
That's communication.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, and all the leftists.
I'm sorry, English is your second language, but that is still communication.
If you are, communicating through a third party, you're still communicating. And they said, we're not negotiating. And yet they said that we've given counter proposals to Donald Trump's plan. It's like, well, how? That's negotiating. Sorry. And then they said, we're not listening to anything they have to say, and we're demanding they stop bombing us and pay us restitution for damages.
Well, it's like leftists saying that, well, we're with everybody. Iran must be stopped, Well, I didn't say use violence.
Right.
Yeah, it's amazing how they can contradict themselves within a conversation, and yet our media takes it as gospel that something took place. It's like, we're not negotiating with them, and here's our 5-point plan that they have to follow. I see. Okay, got it. And
well, it's like Bill Kristol in rare form today, of course, taking the victory lap over, thinking the House was just going to pass this Senate thing, and like, congratulations to the Democrats who held the line and stopped the fascist Donald Trump, blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's actually getting TSA paid while y'all sit around and spank each other's monkeys.
Well, the irony of a guy named Howard French at Foreign Policy writing the article, why U.S. victory in Iran would be bad for Washington and bad for the world. It's funny that they're saying if Trump is unbridled now, just imagine how wildly and dangerously inflated his sense of impulsive, will-driven prerogative and impunity would be in the wake of a defeat of Iran, completely making it about the United States, but failing to mention on any level, in any form, about how the proxies of Iran go out and kill as many people as they possibly can, because Iran is the unholy source of all of that stuff. These people are just either A, stupid, or B, so unbiased, so incredibly biased, they can't see their own bullshit, or a combination of A, B, C, and D, or all of the above.
No, I think I saw 3 or 4 different journalists this week when Donald Trump was giving updates on Iran said, well, we're going to wait and hear what Iran has to say and confirm this.
Yeah, okay.
The lying regime, you're going to sit there and take their word. And again, this is the regime that insisted we only have missiles that can go 2,000 kilometers. We don't have that capability. And then they sent 2 of them 4,000 kilometers.
Yeah, but that was still like a bad match of the Angry Birds game, because neither one of them got where they were supposed to go. But still, they tried, and they had much more successful anticipated. So,
but again, it was another example of the press trying to have it both ways, where they said, "Oh, why are we attacking them? They can't send these out that far." And then when they send them out that far, they got mad at us for not knowing it. It's just you're the ones Iran, and now. That's a wrong.
Well, since we seem to have a lot of leftists hanging out in our YouTube chat, let's give them a refresher of things leftists used to say, shall we?
Sure.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country.
Our immigration policies are a shambles. plain and simple. And right now, our borders are amazingly porous to people who shouldn't be here, such as terrorists, drug smugglers, etc.
If you break our laws by entering this country without permission and give birth to a child, we reward that child with U.S. citizenship. And we wonder, in this country, why we have an illegal immigration problem.
Unlawful immigration is not acceptable.
We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Doctor lives only to be mocked, and you're a stupid idiot fuck. Learn to spell, for one thing.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. What are you gonna do? I mean, these people are all, just
No, that's why I don't pay any attention to the leftards that are on my channel. I just use them because they're present to be used. We like them for the numbers. So keep coming, keep writing, keep doing what you're going to do. I just set your ass on ignore mode, and I benefit from the numbers. So thanks. Keep it coming.
All right, so because I don't have much of a voice and I need to get a break in, we're probably going to go ahead and stop at the hour mark. So let's start the favorite child process and get through all of that stuff and let everybody know where they can find you guys, etc. We'll start with Brad because I know he's got more to say than most of us, except for me because I do a lot.
Yeah, I can go in a couple different directions here, but I'll probably hype the one I put up this afternoon where the Washington Post came out with proof, bona fide proof that the Republican Party is worried about all of the racists and bigots within the Republican Party. And not only did they contradict that in the sub headline that said most of the Republicans ignore these guys, these idiot youth, the whole thing was hinged on Nick Fuentes and his followers. Nick Fuentes, who just came out a couple weeks ago and said Donald Trump is the worst thing going and you should all vote for Democrats. This is their proof that the Republicans are dealing with racism. And just amazing that they can't do that much research. Like they went to some conference and these groypers were getting attention from some people. It's like, great, yeah. And party leadership ignores these idiots, but now they're going over to the Democrat side and there's nothing to be said about that, apparently. It's amusingly obtuse. I encourage you to go read it and just enjoy the stupidity.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, Brad, where can folks find you, sir?
Well, I am playing the trade on a regular basis over at Town Hall. Got my media column there on a daily basis. Also front page of Red State. And also right here, Thursday nights, I got a couple entertainment shows I vacillate between. And if you want to hear more entertainment news, we cover that this Thursday with Ordy Packard and Bad Movies on Alternates. And then Tuesday nights, I'm here with Aggie Rican. We do jaunty news and sports and art and all kinds of other distractions and have fun doing so.
All right. Well, before I move on to BZ, I do have an announcement. Amy just put out an announcement. Her middle son did, in fact, pass his road test. So
cool.
Everyone in that area, please avoid the sidewalks for the next few days. Just saying.
Nice.
And BZ, what about you? What do you got for us this week?
Well, directly from the House of Ironical Schadenfreude is this article, which says Iran's expanding attacks backfire as Gulf states abandon neutrality stance. Now, how far do you have to push your fellow Muslims to go against you? However, with the caveat being Iran Shia and everybody else Sunni. So that has to be pointed out because no one factors that into anything or everything. Because all politics is tribal and nomadic, you must remember.
Yeah. Nobody takes into account that there actually are differing factions, and those two factions don't really like each other. But yeah, I had another point I was going to make, and it just left the building. So
damn it.
I hate it.
Well, there's been a number of countries over there that are just pissed off with Iran. I mean, I think Jordan and one other expelled all the Iranian diplomats, and the UAE has said we're completely behind the United States.
Well, yeah, thank you, because that's actually what I was about to talk about. UAE is stating that a ceasefire is not good enough. They want Iran gone, and they are willing to invest money to help us get Iran gone. So we're actually being paid to take out the Middle East trash at this point.
Cool, super cool.
So
I demand to hear what Iran has to say about that before I believe it.
Oh, and BZ, where can folks find you, sir?
Well, I am BZ of BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show, live and direct from the SHR Media Studios in Noph, Idaho, every Tuesday and Thursday night, 8 p.m. Pacific and 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern. I am your use conservative Sherpa. I'm a conservative Sherpa. Thanks for having me here. And I don't want to tax the Rick.
No tax the Rick. No tax the Rick. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this particular episode of the Weekend News Roundup. Hopefully, we've given you enough information to prepare you for the rest of the weekend. There are some things that we left on the table, and I may or may not do some sort of a special on Sunday. I haven't decided yet. But we're going to get out of here because I have a couple hours before I have to start doing the evening lineup stuff, and I'm going to go find something resembling food. Hope everybody enjoys the rest of your Friday. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Even you YouTube trolls, because you're making my audience bigger, so thank you. And no, you did not bang my dad, because my dad would break you.